Um, I can't help but just say right from the beginning, these are two very powerful people, two very successful, um, driven individuals. That is clear. So, like, we're just right away seeing this, it's like fireworks just went off. Like, there's something very intense and special about both of the people in this connection. So let's start with the Emperor. The Emperor is number 4. This is Aries energy, so fire energy. Speaking about that driven quality, this is a really strong, passionate, powerful energy coming from the Emperor card. The number 4 can talk about stability, support, and the focus on like building a strong foundation with things. Let's get into some more about the Emperor before I get into the Chariot. So this Emperor, the word that comes to mind, keeps coming to mind with this Emperor, is power. I think this person has some sort of power. It's almost like they have the power to get what they want. They're very, very driven, and that might be the power. That might be kind of what powers them, is their drive. But there's just this feeling of authority that comes from this Emperor person. This is somebody who is highly respected. I think they are a respectful person as well, but they are highly respected by those around them. So this person is like just giving me boss vibes. But to be honest, both of these people are giving me boss vibes. This Emperor may very literally be a boss. So they may have a lot of people who work under them in their professional life. They might be self-employed, they might be an entrepreneur, and in that way they are the boss. Yeah, definitely like a powerful energy coming through from this Emperor person. I also think that this person, like, they say what they want, they say what they need. And as I'm saying that, I'm getting a little, like, I want to talk a little bit about who these people are individually before I get into any elements of the connection. But, you know, I'm saying that with a bit of a caveat. They say what they want, they say what they need. I'm really talking about in professional settings or just in other areas of life. I feel like they are, like, they boss up. Like, they're really about keeping their word, about doing what they said they were going to do. And there's like this this feeling of like they're gonna win. This interesting energy, really powerful energy, and I can't even talk more about the Emperor until I jump over to this Chariot, because so much of what I'm saying I think is going to be mirrored with this Chariot person. So the Chariot, this is Cancer energy. A little bit more emotion coming through with that Cancer energy with the Chariot. The Chariot is number 7. Sevens talk about spirituality, about reflection, intuition, inner wisdom. So a lot of what I'm picking up on for the Emperor, I would say, is true for the Chariot person as well. Very driven, very successful. With the Chariot person, we can mix in a little bit of emotion here. I'm not saying the Emperor isn't emotional, but the Chariot person operates from a more emotional place, and from a more intuitive place, a more connected place. But both of these people are highly, highly successful, or they are on their way to becoming. These are the types of people who have big dreams. Both of these people have big dreams. They know that they are here for a reason, and they want to achieve, they want to accomplish. I feel like main differences between them is in the quest to accomplish all that they would like to. The Emperor might be a little bit more likely to put blinders on to certain aspects of life, And the Chariot person won't do that. The Chariot person desires to stay connected. So this person could be very driven, very successful professionally, very highly respected, but at the same time, they are not going to lose their emotional side in pursuit of everything else. The Emperor person may shut down some of their emotions in the process of doing all of this. They may not, but I am getting more of that energy from them that they would close off certain areas, and maybe not even purposely, but just because they can be so busy, they're so driven, they're so like eye on the prize type of person that they could, when it comes to emotional matters, not be quite as in touch, in tune with those parts of life. It's like they're not as intimately involved with emotions as they are with whatever this is that's driving them forward. For a lot of you, this Emperor person might be older, more mature, more well established, something like that. They don't have to actually be older, but there is kind of an energy of like a freshness, like maybe somebody who's just getting started in their professional life or in some aspect of their life with the Chariot person, somebody who's brimming with potential, and the Emperor gives me a little bit more of an established feeling. But these, I mean, I'm both highly successful, highly driven, and there's really a sense that like there's just a lot of purpose here to, like, with both of these people. A lot of like they're here for a reason to accomplish a certain thing. And they're both aware of this. That's the thing. Some people are not quite aware of this. These people seem to be aware of what they're trying to accomplish, and that's why they're able to kind of set their sights on it and achieve. So they're just highly impressive people, and they're highly impressed by each other. I do get a little bit more of a structured vibe from this Emperor person. So this is somebody who might play by the rules a little bit more. They may be more involved in traditional things, like in work. They may work in a more traditional setting, and this Chariot person may work in a more creative setting, or just in a setting that doesn't follow the traditional guidelines. And I think that's really important for the Chariot person. Like, they've got a little bit of a, it's not a wild side, because I think this person's very controlled and like I was saying, focused and driven. So there's a definite method to the madness, but I feel like they might be just a little bit more free-spirited in a way. So there could be a little bit of a tug of war when it comes to power in this connection, because these are both very powerful people. I do think that the Emperor probably exudes more of that power and probably exerts more of that power over this connection, but also just over everything that they do. Like, definite boss vibes coming from this person. They know what to do to be successful and to be in charge, and they don't hesitate to do it. I think this is somebody that's very focused on achieving. So is the Chariot person. I do feel that more heavily on the Emperor side, that achieving is very important for this person, and that they might sacrifice other areas of life in pursuit of a particular goal. Both of these people very goal-oriented. So again, like I keep saying it, but yeah, it's very interesting energy, just because I can see how this could go so many ways. I am seeing this mainly like showing itself in a professional way, both of these people. So people who are very established in a high like a highly respected position or something that required a high level of study to get to that point, but it really doesn't have to be that. And at the same time, it doesn't even have to be that these people have already reached this level. This is like where these people are headed, and I'm probably seeing the version of them that they see, and that's what drives them both forward to keep like kind of chasing that dream. So if these people aren't actually established in this yet, this is just to say that both of these people have like big things coming, big dreams are going to be coming true, big accomplishments, a lot of respect, a lot of high level work, if that makes sense. But it doesn't even have to be that. It's basically just that whatever these people do, whatever, both of them, it's just crazy that it's both of them, but this is probably where they connect. But both of these people, whatever they do, whether that's, you know, some professional job in a high-rise building, or it's like raising children and homemaking, they take it seriously. They are great at it. They are the best at what they do. And like they, in the Emperor's case, is the ruler. Like the Emperor is the ruler in whatever scenario they find themselves in. They call the shots for sure. The Chariot person, they do all of this with a bit more emotion behind it, a bit more feeling. But they're still just so highly driven, destined for big things if that hasn't already started pouring into their lives. This Chariot person is always moving forward, always on to the next thing, always on to the next improvement, the next project, the next idea to implement. Entrepreneur vibes coming from the Chariot too. These two people could work in the same field or in a similar type, like if they're both entrepreneurs but in different fields. But there's just definite leadership, boss energy coming from both of these people. But between the two, the Emperor, I'm getting more of that boss energy. Okay. Interesting. I think that these two people share a lot of the same goals. And if not the same exact goals, then the same type of goals. Like we're kind of already touching on, because they're both so driven. So that's something that they will understand about each other. This drive to accomplish, to succeed. And they're definitely very impressed by each other. This Chariot person looks at the Emperor and all that they've accomplished, and they are certainly impressed. And the same goes for the Emperor looking at the Chariot. These are, in both cases, like this Emperor would be proud to have this Chariot person next to them, proud to call them theirs, and vice versa too, because they respect each other a lot. Here's the thing. I am picking up on some amount of conflict, or like what would make this relationship difficult. I think that two highly driven people, it can be really hard for them to land on the same page sometimes. They're both off chasing their own dreams, and it can be really hard to make time for this connection. Now, that being said, I feel that energy coming more from the Emperor side than from the Chariot side. I think this Chariot person has the natural ability. I won't even say that they learned how to do this, because I think that they may just be naturally gifted. It's just how they were built. They have more of an ability to balance all parts of life. They can kind of reconcile the successful, driven, spiritual side with the or I kind of said that wrong, but like the professional side with the spiritual side, with the emotional side. They can kind of have all of those things living together at once. The Emperor finds that to be more challenging. So if the Emperor was really focused on achieving certain goals, they may kind of disappear sometimes, or make the Chariot person feel like they're not invested in this connection, because they are investing their time and their energy into other things, into goals that they want to achieve. It's just so interesting because there is so much of this energy of like both of them are trying to achieve, but but they do it in different ways. The part I think isn't coming through, like the part of this connection where there needs to be some communication or where something's getting lost, is I think that this Emperor person, although sometimes they can kind of just shut off and they can appear to believe that everything else is more important than this connection with the Chariot, everything that they do is with this Chariot person in mind. And I'm just kind of sensing that that isn't a part of the conversation, that that might not be known to the Chariot person. I think that this Emperor person has a life with this Chariot person on their mind more than they let on, more than the Chariot knows. Everything that they're trying to accomplish and everything that they're trying to establish, they're doing that looking forward to the future and like imagining this life with the Chariot person, and it's like they're doing it in preparation for that. In a lot of cases, they might be doing all of that with no communication. So it could leave the Chariot kind of unsure of what's going on. But I really think that this Emperor person, there is a deep, okay, I know what it is. This is why these two are different. They're so similar, so driven, and so like destined for huge things in life, but there's a major difference here in the energy. And the difference is this Emperor person almost looks at these achievements as like defining them. It's like their self-worth is attached to what they're able to achieve, what they're able to accomplish, what they can provide, what they can supply. And this Chariot person doesn't feel so much like that. They do this for a different reason. They do it because they're passionate about what they do, or because, just achieving goals in life is just what they do. Like they just feel that they were here to achieve, to make things happen, to move forward, to evolve, to grow. They do it coming from that place of wanting to grow. And like I was saying before, they can kind of balance the driven side with the emotional side, with the spiritual side, with the mental side. They're better at balancing that, and they don't attach their self-worth to what they're doing in the world. But the Emperor person really does attach their self-worth to the 3D. So if this person isn't achieving, if they aren't, let's say, for example, if they don't have a fat savings account, then they think they're not ready for the Chariot person. If they didn't land that job, then they think they're not ready for the Chariot person. If they can't offer the dream vacations or the perfect home, or whatever it may be that they think the Chariot person wants and deserves, they think they're not ready yet. And it also feels like no matter how much they accomplish, they still keep thinking they're not ready. And this Chariot person just doesn't think like that. And especially not about the Emperor. They think the Emperor is amazing. They think the Emperor has achieved so much and has so much to offer. And in reality, that's true. This Emperor should give themselves a lot more credit, because they have achieved, and they're always looking forward to what else they can achieve. So this is definitely a driven person. And even if they haven't made it yet, wherever that is, gosh, I feel like I have to say to this person, you're never going to get there. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean there's always something new to achieve. And chasing and never being satisfied with what you have already brought into your life can be a really difficult and dangerous game to play, because it'll never be good enough. And I think that's what the Emperor is struggling with. the fact that it may never be good enough. And the Chariot person sees it for what it is and sees that the Emperor is ready now and has been ready, and they would love and accept them as they are right now. This Emperor person is trying to prepare the perfect place for the Chariot person. And I just think, and I worry that maybe they're not saying this, which is sad, because that could leave the Chariot really unsure about where this connection is going. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely like some sort of conflict there. And I think especially because we're dealing with two very goal-oriented people, and two people who are really trying to make their mark in the world in some way. This can really be frustrating for the Chariot person, because I feel like the Chariot person is like ready to move forward, as they always are. And the Emperor person will kind of be hot and cold about how the connection is going to move forward. And that's so frustrating, because the Chariot person is like, I have stuff to do too. Like, do you realize that I have things that I'm trying to do too? Like, I think they almost get the feeling that the Emperor sometimes thinks that whatever they have going on in life is more important. Or they might not be thinking that, but when they come into the Chariot person's sphere of reality, they kind of flip things upside down for them, and they kind of get them all shook up. Oh gosh, Elvis. They just kind of, they disrupt things for this Chariot person, and then they dip out, and then the Chariot is like, you know what, I had stuff I had to do too, and you just got me all off balance just to leave, or just to like not fill me in, just to not communicate. So yeah, there's definitely a feeling of that, and that's bound to happen with two people who are on this achievement path, because yeah, both people are really busy. And I think the Chariot person is like, can we get to it? Can we get moving? And they don't realize that this Emperor person really does everything that they do, even when they are not showing up for the Chariot person the way that they would want them to. They're doing that with the Chariot in mind. They're doing that to prepare a place. Just the danger is they may never get to that place, because they keep moving the target. And you can't do that. You can't do that. It's like if somebody said, okay, I want to, let's just use a silly example. I want to read 10 books this month. And then they read 10 books in the first 20 days. And so then they say, I want to read 25 books, and they don't even give themselves credit for the 10 books that they already read. To them, they just think, I didn't hit my goal of 25 books. When they reach the end of the month and they only read 22, they think like they didn't do enough, even though to read 22 books in a month is insane. And that's how I feel like this person, like what they're achieving, what they're doing, it's insane. They are totally worthy. They're totally kicking butt at what they're doing, and they don't see it sometimes because they always move the target, and they think the Chariot person looks at them through that lens as well, like it's not good enough yet. And that's not at all what's happening. Okay, let's look at some more of these oracle cards. There's so much coming through for this connection, and it's kind of a confusing energy, because these two people are so similar, and I don't even know if they realize how similar they are, because they show up in such different ways. For the Emperor person, we have purification. That's such a beautiful card. And for the Chariot person, we have illumination. Okay. I think that this purification card for the Emperor is really just, like, you see how light and bright this card is. It's so like sunshiny. It's a sunflower. And I think that this person really needs to kind of like stop and smell the roses a little bit. Let the light in and look up from what they're doing every now and then to notice their blessings and notice their achievements and congratulate themselves and pat themselves on the back a little bit, because they are accomplishing a lot and they just don't see it for themselves. The Chariot person with this illumination, I think this is really about the clarity that the Chariot person has about this connection. In reality, compared to like a lot of the energies that I look at, both these people are really clear about the connection in reality. I don't think that the communication is that great. The Emperor might not be communicating to the Chariot person exactly what they're feeling or why they are doing the things that they're doing. But this is not a matter of like that the Emperor doesn't know how important this connection is. It's not that at all. The Emperor knows how important the connection is. The Emperor wants the connection. The Emperor wants to do everything to make the connection happen. It is the thing that drives this person the most, is this connection. And they just aren't saying it for a lot of you. Like in your connection, it's not out there. But the Chariot person sees this clearly and maybe communicates better about it and is finding it easier to figure out how to move forward or to want to move forward with the connection. It's like they have more insight. And I think it's just that ability to balance all the things, to balance what's going on in the 3D with emotions, with, you know, busy schedules, emotions, and spiritual connections and all that. This Chariot person has more of an ability to balance all of that, and that gives them more clarity into what's going on here. So yeah, in a lot of ways, it's how they feel. And I don't even think it's necessarily true. They feel like they understand this connection so much better than the Emperor person does. And the Emperor person does understand this connection. They just, a lot of their actions make it seem to the Chariot person that they don't understand. That's really interesting. Let's look at the next card for the Emperor. We have Lemuria, and that is creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Okay. Wow. Because that's what this Emperor person is doing. That's why they are working as hard as they're working on whatever it is that they're working on. They're doing it all to create heaven on earth, and really to bring that to the Chariot person. They're doing this to prepare a space that's like matching up with the vision that they have in their mind. And maybe it's taking longer than they thought. And that could really be what the problem is that it's taking longer. So they haven't communicated it. They haven't showed it yet. They haven't revealed their grand plan. But chances are it's not actually taking that long. It's probably this thing where they moved the target. Whatever they thought would be good enough, once they achieve it, they think it's not good enough anymore. So that can be really tricky in terms of ever being there, ever arriving there. But I love how this card says it's happening, because this really tells me that the Chariot person, not the Chariot person, that the Emperor person needs to allow this to happen a little bit more. And with the Purification card, it's like step back a little bit and allow this to take place, because I think this is happening anyway. This vision that the Emperor has in their mind, it's happening anyway. It's unfolding, and they can take their hands off the wheel. They can take their eyes off the road for a minute, because it is going to unfold. And I think they've just felt like they couldn't do that. Like, I have to keep pushing. I have to keep trying. I have to keep achieving. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And this really just comes down to this vision that they were given. This is their vision. This heaven on earth, it's their vision. It's what they saw. It's what they see for this connection. And now it's almost like the vision in some ways can become the enemy, because maybe the vision evolves a little bit, and maybe they never can get there because it changes, or maybe they think the image is much better in their minds than what they're seeing here in the 3D, so they just stay in a place of preparation and never really arriving. But yeah, I think this Emperor person needs to just let this vision unfold a little bit more. For the Chariot person, we have Priestess, How are you being called to step up and lead? Okay. That's really funny. Both of these people definitely would be well versed in leadership, but like I was saying before, the Emperor person takes on more of the lead. Maybe because they're older, because they're more established, or just because of their personality, but they will lead more. It's like they're leading the direction of this connection, and the Chariot person doesn't always like where it's going. But we have to remember who the Chariot person is. If you think about the image of the Chariot card in traditional tarot, the Chariot person is the person holding, well, I don't know if the Chariot person's actually holding the reins, but they're in control of the chariot, of the direction that the chariot goes. And in this connection, I think the Chariot person feels like they are not in control, like they're at the Emperor's mercy. Like, what are we doing now? Where is this going? Are we talking? Are we not talking? Are we doing this? Are we not? Like, they don't know what's going on. And this card is really saying to the Chariot person, you lead. Like, maybe don't let them lead all the time. That could be an interesting dynamic to try to switch up if the Emperor has always been in control. But I feel like even if the Emperor doesn't know that they're in control, their actions, just what they choose to bring to this connection, puts them in control. It puts them in a place of calling the shots. And the Chariot person, you know, maybe sometimes needs to put their foot down and say, it's not going to be like that. We're not doing that. We're going to do something else. And that might just lift the energy a little bit and let it kind of move. Let the air circulate a bit, because there is kind of a heaviness that comes from the dynamic that's been established here. So yeah, maybe step up to the lead, Chariot, and call the shots sometimes, because the Chariot person sees it more clearly. So interesting. I'm so curious to know which side of this you guys resonate with, because this is really interesting energy. We have two more oracle cards to get into. So for the Emperor person, we got an animal card, and we got squirrel. So crazy, you guys. So crazy, because the squirrel card is like, you know, a squirrel like gathers their nuts. So this is about like collecting, hoarding. I feel like the camera's not focusing. Gathering like a stash. And I think that's what we were talking about with the Emperor. They're gathering, they're preparing, they're like hoarding a stash of goods, of goodies, of whatever it is that they think makes them worthy, makes them valuable, and will make them seem valuable in the eyes of the Chariot person. So yeah, that just speaks to that. They're gathering, and it's putting the connection at a bit of a standstill, because nobody can move forward, because the Emperor is trying to collect, trying to make themselves more worthy. And they just haven't come to the conclusion that they are good enough just for being themselves. The Chariot person sees that, but it really could be that in their lives and all of this accomplishment, this is how they felt worthy. You know, to do a particular thing or to have a particular thing is where they've drawn their self-worth from. And they have never realized they're good enough just because they are. They're special just because they're them. They might not realize that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna cry. No. Okay, for the Chariot person, we got an environment card. Okay, so this is tornado. Oh god. Okay, so yeah, this connection kind of like spun things around a little bit. A big shakeup for the Chariot person, and I think it's a big shakeup for both people, but I think the Chariot person feels it more because they feel frustration about this connection, because they feel, again, like that I have stuff to do too. Like, I have stuff to do, and you come and you shake up my whole world. You do a tornado thing in my whole life, and then then we're not moving forward. And I mean, that really just speaks to how powerful this connection is. And this really is powerful. And both of these people have the best of intentions. I promise you that. They have the best of intentions. They want to take care of each other. They want to love each other for who they are. And they have different ways of going about that. They just have some different ways of showing it. But it's beautiful, you guys. Okay. I want to get into like what your person wants out of this connection. So we're gonna grab some tarot to see. So we're gonna look at what they want out of the connection. Oh, my ring broke the cards. And also what energy they will be bringing to this connection in the future. So going forward, what energy they'll be bringing. All right, so let's first look at what they want out of this connection. Oh, cards coming out immediately. King of Cups. Oh my gosh. Five of Swords. Okay, we got our 3 cards. They've got a lot to say. Okay. What this person wants out of this connection with you is love. I mean, plain and simple. 2 Cups cards coming out. King of Cups, the absolute master over emotions. I think they want to feel like they have mastered their emotions in your presence. I think they want to feel like they're in control of their emotions, and I think they want to offer you something very emotional, which is funny when I think about it, because what we were talking about before is that they want to offer you, I think they're so focused on what they want to offer you in the 3D. And that is kind of what's causing the problem, because they can be so busy and so driven with everything other than exploring this connection. But what they truly want to offer you is their heart, this King of Cups energy. They want to just pour their heart out for you and just sit there on their throne like this King of Cups and just offer it to you. And it's odd, because I think their way of doing that is to focus so much on the 3D and focus on what they can be, how they can make themselves worthy of this connection so that they can offer you that cup of love. And the Chariot person probably just wants the cup of love. So yeah, it seems like you are likely resonating with the Chariot person, but it could go either way. But it's like this person wants to offer something emotional, and they go about it in a way that can be difficult to understand sometimes. But yeah, that's what they want. Then we have the 3 of Cups, so 2 Cups cards coming out. We had the 3 of Cups come out, and that's like a really it's like they want to celebrate something with you. They want to finally bring the connection together in a way that it can be celebrated, and that the conflict can go away, because it's just like a harmony. They want that harmony with you. Definitely. I think it's so hard for them to trust it. Like, it's so hard for them to trust it, this 5 of Swords. They just like don't trust that they are good enough, and that whatever it is that they're going to offer to you is going to be good enough for you. Okay, let's see what energy they're going to be bringing to this connection. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I'm done, you guys. Goodbye. Like, I can't. Do I even have to? Do I have to? This is ridiculous. What are they gonna, what energy are they bringing? They're bringing all the right stuff. So honestly, this might be what this person's bringing now, but their way of expressing it is so challenging sometimes, but it's going to become more obvious, and it's going to become more steady and more stable. Maybe they will reach the point where they feel like it's fine and it's safe to bring this connection into fruition, because this Knight of Pentacles energy is really telling me this is something they've taken their time on. This isn't like they're just going to fly in and offer you a romantic relationship. This is the slowest night. This is somebody who is just almost crawling. Like it could seem so annoying, especially to somebody with Chariot energy, if that's the side of this you're resonating with. This could be so annoying that they're moving so slow. But the Knight of Pentacles, he moves slow because what he's offering is real. So it takes some time. Like this pentacle that he's holding out here, it's real, it's firm, it's established, it's a solid foundation is what he's offering. So it took him a little while to get there, but that's because he was bringing something real with him. So 10 of Pentacles is just the ultimate, having it all, and the 9 of Cups is a wish come true type of card. So whatever energy you've been wishing and hoping this person would bring to your connection, they're bringing that, and they're bringing stability, and they're bringing a solid foundation, and that might be what they've been working on. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't need to say anything. Do you see this? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone, because what more could we hope for? If any part of this reading resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below. I've loved hanging out with you guys in the comments. It's been so much fun to connect to you. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you liked your reading, and consider subscribing if you feel like doing that, and I will see you in your next reading, because this is so beautiful. I don't know what else to say. So I'll see you later. Bye, group 3.